This is a walkthrough of the latest version of PluginHub 1.3.4. We'll go through all the features here. Of course, the most important feature in PluginHub is the refresh. When you press refresh, PluginHub is pinging our server, which is checking for new versions of plugins from over 225 vendors and over 3,000 plugins every 2 hours. So in just a few seconds, when you press return, your results are going to populate over these first two tabs. Either a plugin that you own has an update available, or it's already up to date. Every vendor in PluginHub and its plugins gives you either a website that you can visit directly or the installer hub, if it has one. A lot of companies have them, most don't, but if there is an installer hub, we probably have a button that links you directly to it if you have that installer hub installed on your machine. Across the top, we list the total number of plugins you have installed, and then you can filter down for the plugin type that you wish. I'm in all right now, which is showing me all the formats in one place. If you see the little mini pills in all mode, those correspond to the different types of plugins. So we can filter down for AAX, AU, VST, and clap. So we've got our updates available, up to date, and we have manual check. Manual check are all the vendors and plugins that we don't have a working live checker for because those companies don't publish their version numbers publicly. We have some workarounds for that. PluginHub is smart enough to be able to tell when you install a new version of a manual check plugin. When you do install a new version, it will automatically ask you if you want to mark new manual check plugins up to date as you install. Once they are marked up to date, they will turn green, give you a check mark, and tell you exactly when they were marked up to date. You can also manually mark any plugin in manual check as up to date using the 3-dot menu. There are a bunch of features in PluginHub, and we can go through them quickly. Every plugin has the 3-dot menu, which gives you some options. You can snooze any update for an amount of time that you wish. Some users have asked for this because they don't want to be pinged for a certain upcoming update for a certain plugin. You can reveal any plugin in the Finder pre-selected. It will pop up. You can access the license key vault directly. You can move to unused, and you can uninstall. And we'll talk more about move to unused and uninstall right now. Every vendor box in PluginHub has a few options of ways that you can manage those plugins. You've got a little gear icon here that brings up a Manage Plugins window. You can hide a vendor. If you hide a vendor that you don't necessarily want to show on the dashboard, it will show up in the hidden page here. It'll just list every vendor that you have hidden. You can access the Batch Plugin Management window here. We'll talk about that more in a second. Or you can move plugins to unused for just that vendor here through their vendor box. If you select the Move Plugins to Unused window, you get a window that allows you to move all of the plugins or only certain formats if you wish. It's as simple as selecting the formats, click Move to Unused, drop in your password, and those formats simply go to unused folders. You have a little chip here that gives you the ability to restore that if you want to. If you want to move those plugins back from their unused folders, you have a couple ways to do that. The first of which is the folders drop down here that shows you the main folders for all of your plugins, as well as the unused folders. And you can restore plugins from the unused folders back to the main folders here. So we're going to select the Eventide plugins that we just moved to unused, and we're going to restore them right back to their main folders. It's that simple. I'll do a quick refresh on the return so that the dashboard can catch them. There are a whole bunch of other features in the app. You've got an all plugins window that lists every plugin you have installed on your machine. You can filter that a number of different ways. The Intel only chip will tell you every plugin you have on your machine that is Intel only that will break in the upcoming Mac OS 28. That's a good thing to know about ahead of time. Under View, we've got a bunch of tools. We've got a light mode, dark mode, colorblind, friendly status, or you can switch it to system. We've got a brightness slider. You can make the text bigger or smaller here. You can also do that by pressing Command plus or minus. There are a bunch of extra tools to manage plugins. They will show up here in the Tools menu, or you can get them from the drop-down menu in the menu bar of PluginHub. The 3 dashes with the number of unused plugins. It always shows up in the top. From the Tools window, we have access to all of the extra features in PluginHub. Batch plugin management, license key vault, remove old installers, share plugins list, and compare plugin profiles. We'll quickly go through these. Batch plugin management is the newest tool in PluginHub. It allows you to select multiple plugins and or multiple vendors and create lists if you wish, and batch move those plugins and vendors to unused folders or batch uninstall them. This is a pretty great feature if you have engineers in your studio that don't all own the same plugins but work there regularly. We could take some of our plugins and select them, make a list, save that list, and we could batch move those vendors and plugins to an unused folder. They are now inactive, and when Engineer Dave comes back to the studio and we know that he owns these plugins, we can simply select that list. It's going to pre-select all of those plugins and simply just restore them back to the main folders when that engineer comes in. This is the fastest possible way to get lots of vendors and lots of plugins on or off in your system based on who's working in your studio. This is a really great feature. Of course, you can move any format you want or all formats. So you've got a really granular way to move any plugin in any format in bulk in and out of the main folders of your system in one place. The license key vault. A lot of vendors and manufacturers use their own custom license keys outside of the PACE iLock system. You can now import all of those license keys or actual license key files. For some companies that give you an actual file, you can store them securely behind Max Keychain all in one place. So I've got a whole bunch of license keys here for Safari, Refuse, Clevgran, Melomuse, Freakshow, FabFilter. They're all stored in one place, and when I'm ready to move to a new machine, all I have to do is export those keys, import them into PluginHub on my new machine, and they're all back in place, and I can access them at any time. This is a really great feature. We can remove old installers. PluginHub simply is checking your downloads folder for DMGs, PKGs, and zips and telling you how much space you'll save on your hard drive if you remove those things. You can sort by largest to smallest, date, newest to oldest. You can search. It's a pretty great feature for just cleaning up old installers on your system in one place in batch. You can share your plugins list, either the entire list of all the plugins installed on your machine or just the plugins that you've used in a Pro Tools session, a Logic session, or a Cubase session. Give the name a list, decide how long you want the list to be valid for. You can use a passkey if you want, decide on which formats you want to share, and simply create a shareable link, and you'll get a link that you can send straight away to somebody that they can access online. Or you can copy that information to a Google Sheet or a CSV or download a PDF. And you can also compare plugin profiles. Compare plugin profiles works on multiple instances of PluginHub that are on the same license key. You can look at the differences between one machine and another and help get both machines in sync with the same plugins. You can also check for duplicates. I don't have any duplicates right now on my machine, but if I did, PluginHub would pop up a little chip in the menu bar here, or you can also just look at any time, and it will ask you if you want to remove just the unused ones. And this is a great feature for just keeping your machine totally in sync between the main folders and the unused folders. And finally, we have access to the release notes for every version, the manual, and your personal Plugin Hub license, which you can copy and then deactivate at any time to move to a new machine. You should never have to buy a new copy of Plugin Hub when you move to a new machine. That's the main features of Plugin Hub. There's a lot going on here. Hopefully it's laid out in a pretty simple way for you. Thank you very much.